We came from the territory of House Daphne. It's not easy to leave one's home, but it had to be done. Judith asked us so earnestly. There was no way we could have refused. We can trust you, right? I'd hate to end up just another pointless death.
Things have gotten a lot more interesting since we joined up with Judith, haven't they? Anyone who casually treats Claude like he's just some kid is not a person to be trifled with. I think Captain Gerald would have liked her. I hope someday I can be as strong, kind, and level-headed as her.
If we can suppress this Murden, we can invade into the Empire, right? I was in the Empire. Now I will be an enemy. I am having strange feelings. It is with ease that an ally turns into an enemy.
Sorry, but I must. Sorry, but I must. You got yourself killed. We're all desperate, aren't we? We're all desperate, aren't we?
War isn't kind to you if you're a recluse. By the time you realize what's going on, you're already under attack. And if you're off by yourself, you can get killed with no one ever even finding out. Won't that be awful? Just terrible! Okay, Professor, I get it. I know I'll have to come out.
I had an encounter with Lord Gwendol. How many years ago was it? Back before the academy, I met this girl who I fell madly in love with. And her dad tried to kill me. I suppose he just tried to scare me, but I was sure I was gonna die. Oh yeah, her dad? Lord Gwendol. Crazy, right? I never thought I'd seriously be trying to kill the guy in battle. I kind of don't know how to make sense of it.
Hi there!
Professor. The Great Bridge of Murden isn't just a bridge. It has the features of a fortress. I believe it was built for military purposes by the first leader of the Adrestian Empire. In other words, it's even older than the monastery. So if we occupy the Great Bridge, we'll have to search it from top to bottom.
Hey!
Lady Rhea is in the Empire, isn't she? We should hurry up and find her. So many people in the monastery and nearby towns are worried. I want to ease their minds as soon as possible, Professor. Let's work together to find her.
I've been away from Garrick Mach for a while, but I came back when I heard the rumors of what you were doing. The scars of 5 years ago may still be raw, but it's nice to be back. Anyway, I'm going to start a business here again, so I look forward to your patronage.
Greetings, Professor. Nothing to report.
I was talking to some of the Daphnal soldiers earlier, and it seems that Judith has a weakness, but they wouldn't tell me what it is. I got the feeling they didn't appreciate the question. Pardon me for being curious. That said, maybe keep this to yourself. Not that she terrifies me to my soul, but I'd hate to get on her bad side.
Really now? I need your help.
Hey!
Right.
It looks like people are slowly starting to come back to the town. I guess they feel safe now that you and the Knights of Seros have returned. Peddlers have become more common too, so there'll be food and supplies available. After being run down for all those years, it's really becoming livable again. Excuse me, could you do me a favor?
Professor?
On the north side of the Great Bridge of Myrden lies the territory of Acheron of the Alliance, and to the south, the Empire's Burgleys territory. Count Burgleys has held the position of Minister of Military Affairs for the Empire ever since the days of Emperor Ionius. The current Emperor seems to have brought the corrupt nobility to heel, but Count Burgleys looks to be an exception.
What used to be Ire territory lies far to the east of the Great Bridge of Myrden, downstream of the Aramid River, for the sake of my family. I wish we could invade the Empire from there, but I do not have the power to advocate for that. Strategically, Myrden is more important. Thank you, Professor. I will not give in. Not until I have restored my noble pride.
Hello.
We can predict what the Empire will do. Fargus is our real problem. The Eastern Lords have joined forces and are warring with the Dukedom. But I've heard nothing about that conflict as of late. It's strange. I haven't heard much from my father either. I can't help but find this silence unsettling.
So Lady Rhea was in the Empire all this time. Glad as I am that Judith told us. I wish we had known this 5 years ago. We spent all that time spread out over Fodlan, searching for the Archbishop and you. It was a mistake to abandon the monastery, to leave it in ruins. Now we're paying for that mistake.
What the? Hi.
Right. The year 1185 is almost over. From next month on, it will be the year 1186. It's just a date, of course, but it feels significant. I hope next year is a great one.
Listen to this. The Aramid River separates the Empire and Alliance. It's the largest river in Fodlan. Sometimes it'll flood when there's lots of rain, but at least the land gets some extra water.
5 years ago, when the Imperial Army attacked Garreg Mach, they moved with incredible speed. But in the middle of all that chaos, she still had operatives watching. The hero of Daphnal's spy network is impressive. She shouldn't be taken lightly.
If our plan succeeds, we'll arrive at the Great Bridge of Myrden unscathed. The important part is what happens next. We're evenly matched in terms of military power, more or less. So if we can just launch a surprise attack... I wouldn't be so sure. That bridge is almost like a fortress. The defense there is rock solid. But that's why you're here, Teach. No matter the odds, you're the wild card we need to win.
Huh? Thanks to all that food from Judith, I'm full for once. I've got so much energy. Let me at that Great Bridge of Myrden. I'll bust it down myself. Oh, but then how do we cross?
Wise indeed to set me. Maybe. This is hard. Wow.
Of course. I'd heard of the hero of Daphne, but that was the first time I've met her in person. She's the head of a prestigious noble family, just like Claude. The Alliance nobility is so odd. Kind of, but I don't mean that in a bad way. You won't find such big-hearted nobles elsewhere. Plus, Judith can drink with the best of them. A woman after my own heart.
I don't know where he recruited that man, but Claude's got an eye for great talent. I'm talking about his retainer, Nardell. I've only spoken with him briefly, but he seems to have a fair amount of both brains and brawn, with the skills to match. But there's something about him I can't quite place. Like I've somehow heard of him before.
Wow. So, that was Judith. Just as I'd heard of her. She was an upstanding person. The same Daphne blood runs through my veins, and yet I feel as though I am nothing like her. I am but a phantom of what could be. If only I could be even half of who she is.
There's a... I hope this...
Yay! Thanks!
Professor, since I'm originally from the Empire, it seems no one trusts me with any important tasks. Fine by me. Honestly, I bet they're watching my every move to make sure I can be trusted. I knew it. War makes people crazy, huh?
Judith is a wonderful person. So strong and confident as well. Looking upon her, I am sharply reminded of my mother. Very much so. Both brilliantly bright and positive, like a warm ray of light. I lost my mother long ago. I miss her desperately.
I would like to believe that I've always made my own decisions. Even so, I cannot deny that some small part of me has always been aware of my father's wishes. Now here I am, concealing our plan, Claude's plan, from his sight. Quite the contrary, honestly. I feel as though a fog has finally lifted from my eyes. In this fight, I will finally stand upon my own 2 feet, independent of my father's influence.
You look...
Your swordplay is captivating. Exceedingly graceful, yet mindful to guard the weaknesses that often accompany such elegant flourishes.
Lawrence, are you spying on me? That's not very noble.
It was rude of me to watch so long in silence, I do confess. Yet I could not bring myself to interrupt. I believe that such a deep grasp of swordplay can only mean that you have experienced the privilege of a noble birth.
You just don't let up. I didn't inherit my sword skills, Lawrence. I trained. I earned them.
One's lineage does not affect one's talent or tenacity, to be sure. But a noble is raised in an environment more conducive to the honing of martial skill. Those brought up in the lap of luxury are blessed with a far wider variety of options for their futures. And a noble raised in that fashion is better equipped to keep the peace for the common folk.
Sure. And besides keeping the peace, what are the nobility's other duties?
Matters of state, for a start. A noble has the ability to declare war, for instance. A commoner does not. And a noble who carries the blessing of a crest has even more power. One move from such an individual can exert massive influence. Of course, such influence must only be wielded with discretion. It is a noble's duty to use power wisely.
Whether or not it's their duty, if they don't use their power wisely, the people will revolt.
Indeed. The motivation to revolt can only come from discontent with the nobility. But if the people are well protected and enjoy peaceful and happy lives, there is no such motive. Thus, if such a revolt does occur, the nobility must be held accountable.
The nobility must be held accountable, I never thought I'd find myself agreeing with you. Maybe you're not as bad as I thought. In fact, I'll let you in on a secret. I am from a noble family. House Karen of Fargus. I used to be known as Cassandra Rubens Karen. Perhaps you've heard that name before?
House Karen? It cannot be! Are you the one who was driven from Fargus for some grave crime?
So people say. However, I didn't do anything wrong. Anyway, how do you rate me now? On one hand, I am a noble, but I'm also a fugitive.
I see. Well then, will you do me the honor of a bout?
So you'd like to suss me out with your sword? Sure, I'll take you on.
Professor, I'm sure you know this already, but House Ordelia is aligned with the Empire. They face the Empire from across a river, similar to the Gloucesters. Even so, I refuse to yield to the Empire a second time. The Empire did unthinkable things to my family, and to me. The only option here is winning. Professor, you must promise we will overcome the Empire. Next, we face the Great Bridge of Myrden. We actually crossed it a long time ago. Do you remember? It was 5 whole years ago. It seems like so long ago, doesn't it? It's odd how fast time flies. Everyone was still friends then. After the fighting, we all ate together without splitting into our separate houses. But now, we're fighting the same people who were our friends back then. Even Ash. I often wish we could go back to those peaceful days. Well, legend says that pillars of light fell and ravaged Aolel. I was reminded of that when I saw it. Professor? Do you think those legends are true? Oh, I suppose you may be right. There's no way to be sure it won't. There are still so many things we don't understand in this world.
Right. Hearing that the Knights of Saros have returned, the monks have also been coming back. We still don't have enough hands here, but we'll use all that we've got to rebuild the monastery. Until the day that Lady Rhea is returned to us, we have to do all we can.
whom we saw at Alot, was once a renowned general known as the Grey Lion. And yet, as we fought him, it seemed like he was just looking for a place to die. Even if House Rowe, whom he served, is no more, he shouldn't have just given up on life.
We're going to invade the Empire, which means we'll be fighting people we know, won't we? If we're attacked by someone we know or used to think of as a friend, is it permitted to run away? Makes sense. A commander running away would be terrible for morale.
The battle at ALL was a tactical marvel. You grow stronger with each passing day. Where does your talent end and your crest's power begin? Are they one and the same, I wonder? Most intriguing. Yet, it is quite difficult to draw useful conclusions given the situation. It is quite unfortunate I did not achieve my research goals before the war broke out. So much unknown. Now, I fear I will not have those answers even by conflict's end. So very frustrating.
Oh, hello there, Professor. Did you need something from me? It doesn't look like you're wounded or anything. You just looking for someone to talk to? I thought so. Well, I'm here for you. Making you feel better is my top priority. Whether it's physical pain or worries of the heart, you can come to me for anything, Professor.
If Rhea really is in the Empire, then we must defeat the Imperial army by any means necessary. The people at large are just as concerned for Rhea's safety as we are. The sooner we can settle all our unease, the better.
eating.
This is
eating a.
This
is.
There you are, Lysithia. I've been looking for you. So, I have a hypothesis about your crest.
I know you're the one who sent me that anonymous letter. There are things we must discuss. Ugh, it sounded like some bizarre love letter.
What? No, of course not. However, I wonder what you would have done if it was.
Now I'm just confused and grossed out.
I'm sorry, but that is not the overall topic of discussion. Do pay attention.
Pay attention to you? As though anything you say is worth listening to. It's not like you can tell me anything I don't already know.
You don't have a very positive opinion of your crests, do you? That's why you should listen to me. I've dug through all my books, and there's no record of anyone being born with 2 crests. You are, to be blunt, an impossible occurrence. For you to have a second crest, it must have been forcibly implanted after birth.
Is that your theory, then?
Yes, it is. To further the theory, if the power exists to implant a crest, then it must be possible to remove one, too. And that is the real issue at hand.
I could have one removed?
That's what Hanneman is working on understanding. I'm helping him with it.
Professor Hanneman.
Based on your reaction, it seems you want one of your crests removed. I don't think I'd give up having 2 crests if I were you.
Is that so? Even if you'd gone through horrifying experiments, endless trauma, and if you knew that all this pain meant you'd die very, very young? That's what you'd think? You're completely lacking in empathy, so of course you would make such a crass and foolish assumption. I am grateful.
Thank you.
Oh, wow, thanks!
I thank you.
Hey!
Hey you, listen up. I've got something to report. Lots of things happen down here. Lots of reports need to be reported. And for all reportable things, I'm your guy.
Oh. Not sure what brought people back up above, but I'm glad for it. The dining hall, the greenhouse, they're all ripe for the picking again. I mean, for them. Good for them.
What do you require? Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yeah. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yeah. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one should be proud of their growth. Now let me see. I expect much from this one. Yes, indeed. Now let me see. Marvelous. This one, fare thee well.
Professor! Invading the Empire at last, are we? I cannot still the wild palpitations in my chest. I have made myself ready to the extent that I could. But now that the day draws near, I fear that to proceed will be to abandon all hope of restoring the Imperial House of Nouvelle, which leaves me with no choice but to appeal to you and Claude for that. My dream is in your hands.
House Daphne was kind enough to share their food with us. It may not be much in the grand scheme of things, but the gesture means a lot. The hero of Daphne is something else too, isn't she? Balthus seems pretty taken with her.
Huh. That lady hasn't changed a bit since I was a kid. Still intimidating as hell. What a woman. Being me, I'm not nervous or anything. I'm not sure how to approach her. That's all. My luck, she'll treat me like I'm still a kid, even though I'm clearly a full-grown adult man. If that's the angle she takes, maybe I can get some nice hugs out of this. Huh? Oh, nothing.
Damn. Who'd have thought that House Row would show up? They must have been sweating blood to get to Alot from way out there. Guess it's been a while since I left House Row, so it doesn't bother me much to have to fight them. Kinda always knew I'd be the one to take that stubborn old donkey out. I've been ready for this.
I've never met someone like Judy. She's easygoing, but at the same time, tough as nails. I bet she'd be real fun to hang out with. Judy's great, unlike that other guy, Lord, what's his name? I can't stand people like him. People who think they're always in the right. All he did was make trouble, but he convinced himself it was for a good cause. So infuriating. I've never met. She's easygoing. Nope. Let's... Nope.
That would... I'm... You're
You make You make
That was... Something...
You...
Could be useful.
I have a quest.
Is that so?
Professor?
Professor, I'm here. I wanted to take you up on your invitation. I'm not very discerning, but I do love this kind of tea. You have my thanks. This flavor is splendid. Yes? All right. All right. Yes? I need to keep training. I know a brush and canvas aren't enough to protect you. I get it. I wish I wasn't so shy all the time. Professor. What? Some people look smarter if they're wearing glasses. Not me. Thank you for the delicious tea. I'd be happy to join you again whenever you like.
Let's show them the power we've acquired.
I feel the same. Have a look at how we did.
I must always improve.
I'm feeling good about.
I suppose it.
Wait.
Hey, Claude. I think I've worked out what your lyrics mean. Care to hear me out?
Huh? Sure. So, you managed to work through the labyrinth of my melodic poetry then?
I did. You were writing about yourself, right? About how you just keep moving forward no matter what difficulties you encounter? We've got this, we did it, now let's eat. That kind of thing. Am I right?
Hey, that's pretty close for being completely wrong. It's actually not about me. It's about you, Annette. It's a song about your single-minded march through life.
It's about me?
Of course. You know, about how you mess up and make a big fuss about stuff sometimes, but you're always looking ahead and striving. I just wanted to capture your pleasant, fidgety, fussy nature in a song.
Oh, I see. I'm flattered. I think. Actually, I can't really tell if you're saying something nice or not.
Of course I'm saying something nice. I'm so happy I get to be friends with someone like you. Everyone's really uplifted by your cheerful attitude, your refusal to give up, and that boisterous nature of yours.
Ha! Boisterous. That's definitely not a compliment. Still, thank you, Claude. I'm really pleased that you thought so hard about me and wrote a neat song like that. You know, what this song really needs is a nice little dance to go with it.
I couldn't agree more. And once you've finished, you should perform it for everyone. You're a fine dancer after all.
Nope, not happening. I'm afraid my dances are not for public consumption. It will have to suffice that I let you see it.
You drive a hard bargain. And if this performance is just for me, maybe I can coax you into letting me hear some of your other songs?
I suppose there are a few others I could maybe share. Like my bear song, or my dungeon song. Ooh, or the Waltz of the Swamp Beasties.
I have never been more on board with anything in my entire life.
Oh, they're all just silly songs. I don't know that they're anything worth being excited about.
I'll be the judge of that, and I can tell just by their descriptions that I'm right to be excited.
Well, I guess I have no choice. I'm making an exception just for you, Claude.
I'm honored to be the exception, as well as your #1 fan. Hello, Ingrid. A good day to you.
Well, hello there. If it isn't Claude, always a pleasure.
You put in a fine performance in training today. I must redouble my own efforts.
That's kind of you to say.
By the by, do you have a moment to spare? I have been meaning to ask for your input on some new strategies.
Oh, goodness. Only if you think someone as lowly as myself might be of service.
But of course, I value your skills more highly than most any other.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, time out. Listen, Ingrid, do you really have to say "oh goodness" every couple of seconds?
What do you expect? Speaking to me as you were, I only responded in kind.
What? Do I sound that strange? I thought I was acting earnest and industrious.
I mean, yes, you do. You sound nothing short of ridiculous.
Sheesh. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You're the one who's been walking around like Queen uptight.
Excuse me? I'll admit it was a bit forced, but it certainly doesn't warrant such a title.
Look, this was fresh and fun for a while, but maybe it's time we called it quits. Acting like this isn't us. We're just going to make everyone think we've gone mad.
I agree. I must say, I have an easier time getting on with you when you're you, in all your you-ness. Come to think of it, you've always been more reliable than most anyone I know, when it really mattered.
Well, thanks for saying that. I think I liked you better when you were a bit pricklier too. I've gone so long without hearing one of your lectures, I'm almost starting to miss them.
I'm sure I can remedy that for you.
I didn't mean you need to go all out or anything. A little restraint would still be nice.
My lectures, as you call them, only persist as long as is necessary.
Oh, I think I'm coming down with a stomachache. We'll talk later, okay? Okay, see ya.
You honestly expect me to believe that? Come back here, Claude.
Mercedes, I have to insist that you take up a position behind me on the battlefield. I must protect the common folk, and you have been in danger rather frequently of late.
I appreciate your concern, but I can take care of myself. Everything is about nobility and common folk with you, Lawrence. It's tiresome.
Tiresome? I am only fulfilling my duty.
Is that to say you would have left me lying on the floor in pain, had it not been your duty to assist?
You mean when you were hurt on my account? I still would have assisted you, as any commoner would have. It is simply a matter of perspective. And if I were common-born, I would not have simply let you leave without... Never mind. Forgive me.
Excuse me? Are you implying that you would have taken advantage of me if you were lowborn?
What? No! And I am no longer interested in the hypothetical nature of this conversation.
Oh, Lawrence, you'll never change.
What do you mean?
I find myself growing irritated just looking at you.
Is that so? I fail to see exactly how I am so irritating.
You claim that you don't want to be involved with common women, don't you? But I know deep in your heart you love being around us. You're willfully ignorant to that. I hope you know what you're depriving yourself of.
I am certain I've told you before that my marriage must be beneficial to House Gloucester. I've not the time for fruitless courtship.
Fruitless? How can you say such things? What would happen if you fell in love with a commoner?
Nothing at all. I accept the role that I must play, and any sacrifice that must accompany it.
So, your duty as a noble is more important than your own feelings?
Naturally.
If that's true, then your whole existence is rather sad.
I am afraid you misunderstand. This is my choice. There is no cause for pity.
I think I've heard enough. I have to go.
Shamir.
Raphael?
All right! That went better than I thought. You make funny sounds when you're scared.
I wasn't scared. Forget that happened. Still, I'm impressed. You managed to sneak up on me. Not many can do that.
It's cause I practiced that in-out-out breathing you showed me. I practiced until I passed out. It was worth it though. I've been able to get real close to enemies lately without them noticing. I think I pretty much got it figured out. Sneaking up on you is a good sign.
True. To be honest, I didn't think you had it in you. I never thought you'd be able to suppress that unbearably palpable presence of yours. I respect anyone who could learn so much in such a short period of time. You might even be ready for a recon mission.
Recon? With you? And me? Together?
Why the surprise? I said you were ready.
Wow! I never thought I'd get to go scouting with you. I guess that practice really is paying off. Whoa! Was that a smile?
Calm down, Raphael. Are you really that excited to go with me? Your presence may have dimmed, but your emotions are hitting me like a tidal wave.
Oh, sorry. Is there a way to breathe and hide those too?
No. That requires different training. From someone else. I'll keep you informed about the recon mission.
Okay, great! Looking forward to it!
Ah, yes! These are the moments I live for!
I don't understand you.
You again? Can't you see I'm busy?
Trust me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So how did you like the cake? I bet you ate it, didn't you? I knew it was irresistible. What was the experience like? I'm curious, from a research perspective.
I don't know, I didn't eat it. I gave it to some kid.
You gave it to some undeserving child?
We've been over this. I don't like sweets.
Cake is not a sweet. Cake is the divine essence of the heavens.
Everyone has their own tastes.
That's true, but life without cake is no life at all. Your dismissiveness regarding cake is inexcusable.
I'm not sure why you're so fixated on this.
I simply can't resist the spongy magnificence of cakes. I don't understand how you can be so dispassionate about it.
I don't know, I just don't like it.
Just try a bite. Come on, open up.
No, I already told you I don't want it.
But I made this one, with care and attention, love even. And I went light on the sugar, just for you.
Not light enough, I bet. If I eat this, will you stop bothering me?
More or less. Just don't give it to some silly child this time.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, you're still here?
Lysithia, hi. Did you forget something?
I did. What are you reading?
Just something I found. Though there are things in here I don't quite get.
Is that the Compendium of Light and Dark?
It is! Amazing how you could tell that just from a glance at the cover.
I've read it so many times, I have nearly the entire thing memorized. That said, it does seem to take liberties with some topics, so be aware of that while you're reading it.
Wait, really? Yikes. Thanks for the warning.
You've got quite the stack of books here for only wanting to brush up on one thing. I knew you were a hard worker, Annette.
No, not as much as some people. Sorry. There I go again.
It's all right. In getting to know you, I've taken some time to self-reflect. I used to think that I worked harder than anyone. But I'm not so sure anymore. I have to work even harder to keep pace with you.
Oh no! But then I'll have to work extra hard to keep up with you!
Well, if you work extra hard, I'll need to work super duper extra hard.
Oh, come on! Fine. Super duper quadruple extra hard it is.
Okay, that's enough. We could do this forever, but we've got better things to do.
Sorry. It's fun to see you get carried away like that, though.
I'm glad we had this chat. I feel excited to continue working super duper extra hard now. I'm lucky to have someone like you around to inspire me.
I feel the same. I'll do my best to keep pace with you.
Why are you smiling?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just thinking about how nice it is that we can motivate each other like this.
It is nice, isn't it? But I still intend to surpass you.
Nuh-uh, I'm gonna surpass you. But before that, could you explain this part of the book to me?
I'm not quite sure how someone of your caliber is struggling with this one, but let me break it down for you.
Hello, Marianne. Won't you at least tell me why you're avoiding me? It hurts. It really does.
I'm not avoiding you. I'm just not very good at talking to people in general.
I told you I'm on your side, and I meant it. I'm guessing you don't much like talking about crests. Call it a hunch.
Well,
I'm the same way, you know. The value of my life has always been dictated by the damn thing. It's not fair to have your worth determined by something you can't control. Growing up in House Gautier taught me that the hard way.
What do you believe determines a person's value?
I like to think it's a person's smile.
Huh? Their smile?
A smile. It tells you who someone is. Are they fake or sincere? It also makes you feel stronger when you smile. My smile helps me focus and set free all of that power I never asked for.
I wonder.
Try it out, Marianne. Be strong-willed and put everything you've got into your smile.
Smile. Be strong-willed. How's this?
Yeesh, that's a terrific first try. If a bit stiff, lift the corners of your lips just a bit. Oh, I know. Try saying cheese.
Cheese?
Hey, that was good. It might feel a bit unnatural, but you'll get used to it soon enough.
Cheese. Are you sure this will make me stronger?
Guaranteed. It's a great smile, you know? Let's go to town and show it off. If you lift your eyes from the ground, you'll see that the world has all sorts of amazing things to offer. The more you realize that, the more you'll smile.
I'll think about it.
Please, don't let me pressure you. If you don't want to go, I understand.
It's not that I don't like going into town. I'm just eager to get back to my room. I want to go practice my smile. If I keep practicing, maybe someday I'll be ready to go into town with you.
Oh yeah? That sounds great. I can't wait to see your best smile.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
How long did you expect me to stand here?
I did just say sorry. But I could say the same to you. You were pretty slow to settle on a time.
I can't help having a busy schedule. Plus, I thought you could use the extra time to prepare.
We could go back and forth like this all day. Or we could get started.
You were the one who kept me waiting. Let's begin.
On my signal?
Hurry up.
That's better. Okay, go!
Let's see what you... A pit trap?
That's right. How you feeling down there?
Coward!
Say what you want, but Captain Gerald taught me this one. You're heavier than you look.
I'll admit, I wasn't expecting that.
If this were for real, you'd be dead. Aren't you glad I put straw down there instead of spikes?
Yes. I underestimated you. I suppose your lateness was a ploy to distract me.
You're not wrong. I did it to rile you up. Draw you in. You're capable, confident. I was counting on that. So, what do you think about Captain Gerald's training now?
His technique worked and you won. What else is there to say? Winning is all that matters. You drew my attention to a major vulnerability. I'll need to be wary of traps. Thank you, Leone.
Seeing as you're thanking me, can I ask you a favor? Will you come watch my next training session? I'd like a few pointers about fighting in close quarters.
The loser must pay tribute, I suppose. Yes, I'll help you train.
You will? Thanks! Hey.
Hey, Leone. I mean, hello, beautiful. What brings a sweet girl like you to a place like this?
I just came to the greenhouse to look at flowers. What's with you?
Nothing much. Nothing much. I was just thinking about how sunflowers don't deserve to be stuffed away in a greenhouse. They'd bloom better out in the open. Just like you.
Could you cut the weird metaphors and just say what you want to say? Oh wait, I get it. I'm not ladylike enough to fit in with all the pretty flowers.
No, okay, that compliment backfired. Let me try a different angle.
This is a joke, right? Tell me this is a joke.
What have you got against sunflowers anyway? I think they're lovely myself. If you think I only care about delicate flowers raised in a greenhouse, you've got me all wrong. Statuesque sunflowers, blooming proud and tall in the open air, have a beauty all their own.
Is that right?
You better believe it. And the same goes for you. You have a beauty unlike any other. I look at you and I see sunflowers. Hmm?
Look, can you just go back to normal?
At this point, I feel like anything I say is just going to make you more angry.
Why are you suddenly not capable of carrying on a normal conversation?
My eyes have been opened to the charms of the beautiful flower blooming right beside me. It's a whole new day for my heart.
You can quit messing with me at any time.
I'm not. I'm absolutely serious. You really are as charming as any flower. I see that now.
Would you stop? This is getting weird.
Even sincerity doesn't work? What kind of flirting is going to satisfy you? You know what? I'm just going to leave you alone for now, so I can get a fresh start some other time.
Right. Bye. Charming? Me, of all people. Like I'd actually believe that. Stupid.
Petra, what are you doing?
Hello, Cyril. I was doing training for hunting.
I thought you were already a good hunter.
I am good, but to keep good, I must keep practicing.
Oh, I get it. Huh. Hey, can I ask you a question? I mean, I figure you asked me a personal question before, so now it's my turn. That is, if you don't mind. Tell me why it is you do all this training, and if it's got something to do with where you're from.
My training in my land of home. Before I can give answers, I must give you my history. I was a child in Brigid. But then there happened the war with the Empire. My parents they died. Brigid lost in the war. After it, a decision was had that I must go to the Empire.
War, huh? That's the same as me.
Yes. But our difference is that I still have a strong devotion to my land of home. I want to grow my skills and train with hardness for the goodness of my land of home. I will one day be leading Brigid. I want to have better relations with Vodlin. So that is why I am here. When I wish I could be there.
Oh, wow. You do all this so maybe you can be a leader for your people? I guess I was right. You're real different than me.
We have differences, but we do not have so many differences. You and I are the same, I believe.
The same?
You work with great passion, all for the future and to keep protected what is here today. I work for the future of my land of home. You are the same, but here is your home.
I don't know. Maybe, but I guess that does mean I'm putting in a lot of effort every day, just like you.
That is what I have said. You and I are the same, even with the differences we have.
Did Cyril fall asleep here again? There's nothing to cover him with. He'll catch cold if he's here too long. Oh well, I guess I have no other options. I'll have to take care of this myself.
Ah! What's happening?
I'm keeping you warm so you don't catch cold. I'm sorry. Did I make you uncomfortable?
I was just surprised. Thanks, Mercy.
Oh, I'm happy to hear you call me that. You know, I seem to find you in here pretty often. Do you have a favorite book?
Nah, but it's always real quiet here, so it's where I like to sleep.
I see. You always seem so wrapped up in your work. That is, whenever you're not sleeping in the library. Do you have many friends here?
No, not really.
But don't you want some? Having friends is much more fun than spending all of your time alone.
Nah, I don't want people treating me like an outsider. I'm better off alone.
An outsider? You? Who would possibly say...
Oh, so you don't think anyone thinks that? Should I tell you what happened to me before I came here?
Oh no, you really don't have to. I didn't mean to bring up such difficult memories. But you know, everyone here sees you as a friend, even me. I see you as a good friend.
Mercy. I'm sorry. I sure like everyone here too, but it feels like you're, I don't know. It sounds weird maybe, but I think you're something different than a friend.
Different? In what way? Do you not like me?
No, it's not that. I can't... You know how sometimes you can't explain things? This is that. If I had a sister, I think that might be how it feels being around you.
Really? That's just as well. You remind me of my little brother.
Oh, you got a brother?
I do, but I haven't seen him in so long. It's almost like he's not really my brother anymore. But you can count on me if you need anything at all. I'll do my best to help you out.
I can count on you for anything? Wow.
Flame! There you are. I've been looking everywhere for you.
You worry too much, brother.
I think a kidnapping is good cause for concern. I was so worried about you I nearly fainted.
Had that not happened, I would have never been allowed to join the professor's class. Even from something so dire, some good did come of it.
That is a dangerous attitude. This world is full of peril. You must be more vigilant. Please understand, I allowed you to enroll here only because I thought it best for your safety.
I am very much aware of that. You wanted to speak to me of something?
Yes, my dear little sister. You are kind beyond all measure, and you are the very picture of innocence. But precisely because of these very fine qualities, I worry about your interactions with the others here. The youths of our army are particularly eccentric. As your brother, it is my duty to help you with any concerns you may have.
I do appreciate the offer, but all the students and professors have treated me exceptionally well.
Even so, there must be at least some worry. Please, you need not conceal anything from me.
You worry far too much. There is truly nothing to share, and nothing for you to fret over.
Are you absolutely sure? The idea of you suffering in silence is unbearable to me.
Enough! I made it clear that nothing is wrong. I stand by my word. Well, there is one concern that comes to mind.
What is it? Tell me. I will help however I can.
There is a certain somebody who seems determined to get in the way of my friendships with my classmates.
What? That's horrible. Fear not. I will handle this scoundrel for you. Just tell me his name.
It is you, brother. Now then, I must be on my way.
What was Flame getting at just now? Let's see, I was speaking to her. I asked her to share her concerns, and... was there something else? No matter. Fear not, Flame. Your brother will protect you from all harm. It seems I'm not the only one here. Manuela?
Oh, Sereth. Hello.
This is quite the surprise. I would not expect to find you here outside of ordinary prayer time.
Praying? No, I was just resting. Whenever I'm in the infirmary, I simply cannot get out of doing work. I need a place to sit and close my eyes.
There is no need to hide it. It is obvious you were praying quite solemnly just now.
No, I was just enjoying some old memories. That's all. In fact, I was just thinking about when my parents first brought me here as a child. I wandered off from my parents because I heard a beautiful voice. It was a woman, singing, somewhere just out of sight.
I began to sing along, hoping she would hear me and that we might meet. I never found her, whoever she was. Yet it was she who taught me I could sing.
Interesting. I'd never heard that. But I suppose if you were only a child, this would be before I arrived at Garreg Mach. In any case, if that singing voice helped you find your way, then that is a wonderful thing.
I've never told anyone else, but I believe it was the goddess I heard. And that day, she gifted me my singing voice. And I thank the goddess for leading me back here after I left the opera company.
You know, when you speak of the goddess in this way, it is as though you are an entirely different person. If you were to behave that way more in your daily life, I would have a much higher opinion of you.
Oh, that's very sweet, coming from you, Sedith. Should I take that to mean that you like your ladies pious and respectable?
One little compliment and you completely lose control of yourself. What am I to do with you?
Oh, it's a joke. Look, I'm just no good at serious conversations. Although, I would be lying if I said I wasn't interested in knowing what kind of woman does get your attention.
As thanks for the touching tale you have shared, I will satisfy your curiosity just this once. My preferred woman is kind, quiet, and proper. But above all else, she is straightforward and honest.
Quiet? Proper? There's no need to be cruel, Sedith.
How are you, Catherine? You look well enough.
Oh, yes, I'm fine. Never better.
That is good. I cannot help but be concerned, given your tendency toward incautious behavior. While boldness can be a virtue, I do hope you will bear in mind that recklessness is not. A moment's negligence can lead to a mortal wound for even the most skilled fighter.
You worry too much. If they saw me in action, the wounds themselves would cower.
That is precisely the attitude that worries me, especially given your history. You have been gravely injured before, as you no doubt recall.
Me? Gravely injured? When did that happen?
You mean you have forgotten? It was during your days as a student at the Officers' Academy. There was an excursion, a monster hunt. You charged ahead and left your fellow students behind. You ended up alone and surrounded. You almost died. Do you truly not remember?
Are you sure? All I remember is cutting down monsters left and right.
That is true enough, but you nearly bled to death in the aftermath. The Archbishop was so concerned for your life that she tended your wounds personally.
Oh, that was when that happened. Finally! It all fits together. Lady Rhea looking after me. Now that I remember clearly. That was the first time she ever spoke to me. I was lying on the ground, caked in mud, and she gently picked me up, even stroked my hair. The emotions were so overpowering that they must have just cleared away my memory of the whole incident. So it was during the monster hunt. Thanks, Sedith. That's been bothering me for ages.
That is not quite why I brought it up.
Come to think of it, Lady Rhea hasn't healed me since then. We've got to find Lady Rhea, and then maybe someday she'll honor me like that again.
Hello, Manuela. I was just wondering, what was it like back when you were involved with that opera troupe? Your life must have been quite different from how it is here, I imagine.
My, how bold to ask an adult about their private life. I'll humor you, though. A diva's life is only glamorous while she's on stage. The rest of her time is consumed by grueling training. Just days and days of practicing, beginning at sunrise, with barely a moment to rest from one performance to the next. Then, once the performances begin, you're on stage for 3 shows a day. Absolutely exhausting. Is that anything like you imagined?
It sounds like a world all its own. Thank you. I find the topic fascinating. What sort of roles did you tend to be cast in? As the lead performer, did you play the part of a princess much? Oh, I can only imagine how illustrious that would be.
Yes, I was a princess once or twice. And it was quite something, let me tell you. All those royal jewels and flowing gowns. And they didn't just give me the pretty clothes to wear because I was beautiful, you know. I had to fight and claw my way into every role. But once I was there on stage, singing my solo, and all eyes were on me, it was worth it. I was rewarded for every one of my countless hours of practice. And the cheers when I finished a song, the applause. Oh, I can't properly explain it, but I can tell you, it's an experience I will cherish until the day I die.
Wondrous! It all sounds so very glamorous. Despite how rigorous a schedule you kept, it sounds like the hard work was worth those fleeting moments on stage. Mine has always been a quiet life. It is hard not to feel a twinge of envy, hearing such stories from you.
There's a lot to be said for the quiet life. It was never for me, of course. Still, I hear it's a pretty good deal for a lot of other folks. The thing is, Flame, well, you always have to remind yourself that if a place shines brighter than anywhere else, its shadows will be darker too.
What do you mean?
Nothing. It's a thing I hope you never come to understand. You know what? The next time you visit, I'll tell you all about the time I played a beautiful princess, and about the handsome prince she fell in love with.
Oh, please! I would love to hear all about it!
Manuela, I would like to apologize. The other day, I said some things to you that I am, well, not proud of in the least.
Oh no, Hanneman. It is I who should be apologizing. I behaved in just the most dreadful manner. I was just lashing out at everything. You were right to call me out. Really, and I do very much mean this. I'm so sorry for my behavior.
No, please, pay it no mind. Actually, I'm thankful for what you said during our conflict.
Thankful?
Yes. You made me realize that I have a somewhat meddlesome nature. Thanks to you, I believe I've found an area in which I can improve myself.
I could say the same thing, you know. Your accusations, they really hit home. After I cooled down, I realized you were right. I really ought to try and keep my emotions a bit more under control.
Well, that's good to hear. It seems this wasn't a fruitless clash for either of us.
Oh, indeed. There's nothing more depressing than a pointless fight, is there? Don't you wonder, though, just how many times we've had this same argument?
We do always seem to be at one another's throats before we even realize it. I don't know how we manage to keep it up.
You're not wrong. Something the matter, Hanneman?
Well, it's just... you don't smile like that very often. But when you do, it is quite charming. Perhaps your struggles in love are due to your reliance on false affection instead of your more natural charms.
Well, thank you for the compliment. Even if you did have to spoil it with criticism. If you weren't so judgmental all the time, maybe you'd have had more luck in romance yourself.
What? Manuela, as your friend, I was only trying to give you a useful bit of advice.
And that so-called advice is exactly why I call you meddlesome and overbearing.
There it is. Manuela begins to protest even when she knows the fault lies in the
Professor Hanneman, what do you think of my progress so far?
To be blunt, you are still struggling more than I would expect.
Ah, I see. I suppose I need to give it a little more of that Alois oomph.
How does someone remain so upbeat when they are accomplishing, well, absolutely nothing?
Come again? I didn't quite catch that.
Just jabbering to myself. Pay me no mind.
All right. I've been wondering, why did you agree to train me in the first place? When I told everyone you were teaching me, they could hardly believe it.
Well, if I'm completely honest, you're less of a student and more of an experiment. You have no crest, but you might be able to learn magic, despite our early results. And the potential magical ability of those who lack a crest is precisely what I hope to research.
That's a surprise. A crest scholar researching people without crests?
When studying crests, it is also important to understand the effects of their absence. After all, the very reason for all of my research is to grant the power of a crest to anyone who desires it. If it is in fact possible to increase the magical potential of people lacking a crest, then I find myself one step closer to my goal. Hence, my experiments with you are quite valuable to my research.
Oh, that's wonderful! What a great man you are, Professor Hanneman. Truly a man among men. Why, if I could prove it's possible to use magic without a crest, what an honor that would be. Oh, please, use me as you see fit. I won't let you down, I promise.
Could you express your enthusiasm more quietly? And if at any point you wish to discontinue...
Oh no, I'm ready to go. Let's make a breakthrough. Come on, Hanneman. You should be shouting too. A bright future awaits.
No. Shouts and screams are detrimental to scholarly research, and to my ears.
Oh, I meant to tell you, I have some friends who struggle with magic as well. I'll ask them to help. Perhaps if we all chip in, we can make your dream a reality. Onward!
Alois! Forget it. That man never slows down. But I suppose I can appreciate why some are drawn to his exuberance.
Manuela, there's something I must discuss with you.
Alois, hello. You're looking more serious than usual. Is everything okay?
I'm in dire straits. Can you help me think of a gift for my daughter? Her birthday's just around the corner, and I can't think of anything to send her. Frankly, though I've sent her some wonderful gifts over the years, she never seems too excited about them. So, this year, I want to send her something special. Something that she'll gush about.
I wouldn't know the first thing about buying a gift for a child, never having had one myself. Now, I must ask you to leave the infirmary. I need to make room for sick and injured patients, who I am sure will arrive at any moment.
Oh, please, have a heart! Can't you help me at all? This is an emergency! I've been racking my brain. I have no idea what she might like, and time's running out. I thought that a young woman such as yourself might be able to help.
Young? Did you just call me? Could you repeat that, please?
Oh, of course! Anything for a young, charming beauty such as yourself. I can think of none worthier of that description.
Well, your quite astute observations have inspired me. So, let's discuss your daughter's birthday gift.
Oh, thank you. In that case, will you come shopping with me when you're done for the day?
Very well. Now, let's begin with the simplest question. What does your daughter enjoy? What kind of gifts have you given her for previous birthdays?
Well, for the past few years, I've been sending her ancient coins.
Excuse me?
Coins, I said, from ancient civilizations. I've been diligently collecting them and passing them on. They're precious and historically significant. The makings of a great gift, don't you think? Is something wrong? Oh, you don't think an ancient coin is much of a present, I take it?
I'm sure that for the right person, such a gift would be exquisite. You know what, Alois? Don't you fret. I'll think of something that will make your daughter happy and make up for all of your other gifts.